Yeah, when I moved here because the country's over, the country field.
We had that in Pickens County. Greenville used to county.
Oh, I didn't want to move to Greenville.
Oh, no. Too expensive.
Yeah, I didn't want to pay the taxes.
People drive out.
That's why I wanted to just work there.
Smart. I'm going to power it down. Sure it don't rain during the day. This vacant chair.
And immediately after that, can you now? And immediately after that, if you would, stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Paul?
Mr. Mayor, good councilman, I appreciate the opportunity to do this. Let's go to the Lord in prayer, shall we? Dear Heavenly Father, God, I just thank you so much that you are a sovereign God. You rule and reign on a throne far above us, above our understanding. God, your thoughts are not our thoughts, your ways are not our ways, but tonight, Lord, we call upon you to just fall down upon this place, Lord, and may a spirit of understanding and unity be placed upon each and every one of us here, God. Lord, I thank you for sending your Son, Jesus, to die on a cross, Lord, for our sins, to rise again a third day, Lord, and to sit highly exalted on the throne next to you, Lord. God, I just ask for tonight that not only your presence be here with us, God, but your peace, a peace that only you can give, will be here present with us as well, Lord. Be with us. May each and every person here be touched with your calmness, with your understanding, and with a wisdom from on high that only you can offer. We'll give you praise, glory, and honor for everything that's done and said here tonight. And it's in the precious name of your Son, Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Item 4 is approval of minutes. Are there any additions or deletions to the minutes? Hearing none, they stand written. Report from council members. Ward 1, Mr. Garrison.
Working. There we
There
go.
you go. There you go.
No report, but I did want to remind everyone that Spring Fling is April the 1st. Is that correct, Chrisman? At Old Market Square. Everybody come out and enjoy all the events there and all the vendors. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ward 2.
Yes, I'm presenting 2 memos to the mayor this evening through the clerk, and I will read them. It has been a practice that I have delivered a list of questions every month. So the memo reads that on February 14th, the memo was submitted to administration, has not been answered, and I've been told answering no more questions. Therefore, Mr. Mayor, as Chief Administrative Officer of Easley, I'm presenting this memo to the clerk for you, and spaces have been provided for the answers. There are several questions listed below which may not have arisen had these questions been answered last month. See bullet points. Why? I heard that they have been, but why hadn't the bank statements been reconciled since November 2021? Is this going to be done on a regular basis by contract or internally? And what is the fee? I requested a comprehensive financial report which includes all fund accounts. I still have not received that. Why hasn't the administrator position been posted on mask? I checked it today. It still has not been reported. Now, referencing the revenue and expense reports, miscellaneous expenses in a number of departments have exceeded the budgeted amount. For example, account number 10-411-632, council miscellaneous expense. Every month since April 22, an amount of $970.15 for the mayor's Tahoe has been coded to this account. And I want to know why the mayor's Tahoe would be coded to miscellaneous expense when in the accounting dictionary, miscellaneous expense should be used as the last resort. And then part of the original memo, when will the city adopt a master plan which incorporates the comprehensive plan, the soon-to-be revised annexation plan, zoning ordinances, and the LDRs that need to be updated. The two new questions on here reference the check register report. The March 21 registers posted do not show the monthly payment of $970 for your Tahoe, yet it's coded in 421 department for the enterprise and for the police department has increased by $970.15 exactly. Does this mean this car is now coded to the police department, and has this car been assigned solely to that department? In the past 2 weeks, the check register showed 24 description entries listed as miscellaneous expenses totaling $4,938.22. In reviewing last year's registers for a period of 6 months, 0 descriptions of miscellaneous expenses were listed. Plenty were coded to miscellaneous expense. Please explain why there is no detailed description of the purchases as before. And with the exception of the last 2 items, which can be easily answered, the courtesy of a reasonable response is requested within 10 days. And this is my 60th request to get an answer as to why I had abused access to the accounting system, why you're sick and tired of babysitting me, and enough is enough, and I'm still wanting to have access back to the accounting system.
Thank you. Ward 3,
No report.
Ward 5. No report. Ward 6.
And no report.
Okay, thank you. Updates on city activity. Mr. Alpert.
So, Mayor and Council, the couple updates I have is the filling of Ward 4's council seat with the passing of Councilmember Moore. We had 2 people step up to run for Ward 4 council seat. It is a Gene Patterson and a David Jones. They will be running for this ward. Early voting will begin April 10th to April 21st from 8:30 to 5. And where you'd vote at is the Pickens County Administrative Office. The election itself will be held on April 25th, 2023. We're going to try to confirm the 3 voting areas where that will be open for that day. We'll get them out. And the only other thing, 2 things I have, is update. Jeff Shacker from the Municipal Association has changed jobs. He is no longer with the Municipal Association, and he went to Newberry County. And on a sad note, our retired Assistant Chief, Wayne Holcomb, no kin, passed away Saturday night, and so we want to remember his family in our thoughts and prayers, please. That's all I have, sir.
Item 7, it's council approval, is A, vote to postpone second reading of ordinance 2023-01, 2023-02, and 2023-03. Do I hear a motion?
So, second.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Turn it over to Maureen.
The proposed annexation was asked to be on the. The proposed annexation was asked to be delayed by the proposer because they want to wait until the zoning ordinance is finished, and that should be probably sometime in July, June, July, or August, some of that time there. They've asked for a delay of 160 days. We feel it's appropriate to do that, and it's all you know.
Thank you, Maureen. Comments on that, Tony?
Yeah, the only thing I would add is that it's a mutual agreement between the owner and the developer. We have emails from them asking for the delay, and so what we've done is brought it before council to be voted on.
I did have a question. I thought in the work session until now. So you're just saying this has been delayed, that application has not been pulled, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And for those that are here tonight, because I think that's probably why y'all are here, the question was asked in work session, and please correct me if I'm not relaying this properly, is that when this project, if it goes back on the agenda, it will be on a regularly scheduled monthly meeting. So it will be a 30-day notice essentially. So you just have to watch for the agendas for the meetings. But now, Mario, where'd you go? Did you say that there's a strong possibility that the developer or whoever requested the postponement is waiting until the zoning ordinances are adopted by the city?
Correct. They're waiting for the zoning ordinance to be adopted by the city.
Okay, all right. Now, another question that I was wondering is, if we're doing this, I'm just wondering, is the city considering, are they going to be postponing further developments for this exact same reason? Are we looking at possibly talking about a moratorium until all this stuff gets done? I know I brought that to the table once before, but since Pickens County has done it, getting all their stuff up to date, I'm just wondering, is that a possibility that this council is going to entertain?
At this time, we're not presenting no moratorium, no.
No moratorium. Are you considering one?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. I guess that was all my...
Just to be clear, the developer and the owner requested to take it off the table.
No,
for a time.
that I understood, but I
Okay.
just thought that, if all of this is still fluid and nothing has been hammered out, and we have these we have this zoning ordinance, and we still have the land development regulations and everything that needs to be updated, this would be a, wonderful time to put a moratorium on this stuff until all of this stuff is completed and staff can be trained. So the answer is no?
That is correct.
Okay.
Mayor Womack, in case some members of the audience don't know, the city is in the process of reviewing and revising its zoning ordinance,
That's correct.
and that is independent of and separate from this particular matter before us
It
on
is.
this vote.
Yes, sir. It is. Thank you. Okay, anything else?
Mayor, before I call the question, just a reminder that a yes vote will delay these readings, second reading. A no vote means that we proceed on with the items below
That is correct.
as
sir.
printed.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
So I'm calling the question.
Wait. Explain that to me. So if we're voting to postpone the second readings, and if the vote is in the affirmative that it's postponed.
Correct.
Does that mean items 9A, B, and C will not be read? Is that correct?
That would be correct.
Okay. All right, I just want to make sure.
If we vote no, then they will be read.
Okay.
So I've called the question.
Call for the question. All in favor of this ordinance, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Okay. Item 8, citizens wishing to address city council. You have a book. You got it.
Alfred Bassett.
Call it one more time.
Alfred Bassett.
Okay. All right. Go to the next one.
Kayla Alves.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Susan Sauer.
Oh, absolutely. Why would they want to talk? Then they actually have a voice.
Ma'am, you were about to leave.
You sure
You
are.
understand me?
And Sheriff Granger.
Good evening, everyone. I have a devotional that I read from every morning, and when I turned to it this morning, this was the message, and I don't believe it was a coincidence, and I want to share that with you. You don't have to be a tree hugger these days to be part of taking care of the land and the water. Human intelligence has progressed our lives significantly, but unfortunately, much of it has been at the expense of creating a whole lot of mess. God didn't create the world for us to abuse, but to enjoy and take care of. If He cares about the land, water, and soil, then as His image bearers, we need to have that same amount of care. The land is crying out for redemption, and we can be part of that plan. What changes can you implement that will make a positive difference to our natural environment? I've talked to a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, about all the development in Easley, and in particular this annexation of property on Sheriff Mill Road and Brown Drive. I stand here representing not only myself and my family, but all of these people. They have all told me the same thing. No one wants more development in Easley. I have had several people tell me they plan to sell their homes and move out of Easley because they can't stand to live here anymore. Is this the vision the city has for Easley? Overcrowded schools, overcrowded roads, no land anywhere. I want more for my children and grandchildren than strip malls and condos and apartments and townhouses. I want them to be able to live in the county as I have all of my life. I know this landowner has the right to sell her land, but it does not have to be annexed and developed to be sold. Our quality of life in the county is being taken from us. You say you don't have control over the roads and the schools. You do have control over the issue of building permits. You can stop this development by putting a moratorium in place. You're public servants. You're supposed to be serving the people of Easley. The people that voted you into office placed their faith and trust in you. If you vote to annex this property, then clearly it does not matter to you what the people think. What is happening in Easley is not progress. It is a nightmare. Enough is enough. The people are tired. The people are angry. That's why they're here tonight. Our way of life is going away forever. The small town feeling of Easley is going away. We love our homes, and we are here tonight fighting to keep our way of life. Thank you.
Jennifer, let me explain something to you. If this happens every time, we're gonna end the meeting, you understand? And I hate that. But we have a meeting to conduct. If y'all wanna clap, go outside. Jennifer?
Kelsey Crooks.
Hi. I don't think I have any remarks that I want to share that won't be shared with the remaining people that are left to speak, but I do want to present the next round of petition to stop the annexation of Sheriff Mill Road and Brown Drive. The past 3 weeks, a group and myself have collected almost 1,170 signatures from city residents, Pickens County residents, and Anderson County residents, as this annexation does affect Anderson County as well. I would like each of you to really pay close attention to the names that are being recorded on here, as they are your constituents that vote for you. Can you serve this to them? Thank you. And then also, I would like to present a FOIA request requesting all correspondence between City of Easley, the developer of this property, and the owner of this property as well. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Jennifer?
Harold Kendall.
What's the runoff from this development and the one on Terry Acres going to do to the spring-fed creek that leads into the lake at the lower portion of the property? At one time, that lake was a bird sanctuary and still may be. Has anybody thought about this? Does anybody up here think? I have had flooding in my backyard due to the runoff from development on Terry Acres. It's taken down 2 50-foot trees that are probably over 50 years old. And others are leaning. How much more runoff will destroy people's homes and farms that it has done, like it's done to the Nesbitts who can't grow hay for their cattle, and the sheriffs who have sewer overflowing into their yard from too much waste going through? And you want to add another development to it? What are you thinking? Do you care about the people of the city or just yourselves? Where's all the wildlife that calls this property home supposed to go? Into the streets for everyone to hit with their car? You want to create danger for your constituents driving? That's what it sounds like to me. At what point will you realize enough is enough and we need to take care of the people that live in our fine city? Almost 250 years ago, many great people gave their lives to be free. Free to where all the people had a say or a vote in how things would be done. Unfortunately, nothing is perfect, and some officials worked harder for their own agendas and not for the people's. It's gotten to a point where officials think they can do whatever they want. Are we still a democracy? Or are we slowly turning into socialism, which is the first stage of the worldwide transition to communism? Last time I checked, we are still a democracy, for the people and by the people. Look at all the people here and how they feel about the annexation. Who here wants this annexation? Anybody raise your hand? I don't see anybody, okay? Who here doesn't want it? No. Look around. Mr. Mayor, can you please look and see the hands raised?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I would appreciate your attention when I'm speaking to you. I paid attention when you were speaking to us. Thank you. I don't know what's so important on that paper that you can't listen to us.
I take notes, thank you.
Thank you. Good. I will be more than happy to forward this to you if you would like to.
Thank you.
Only a couple here who want it, maybe. I don't know what you guys do because you all won't vote over there sitting in your fine little spot. But there are over 1,000 here who are opposed to it. Will the city officials listen to the majority of the people, especially those whose lives are and will be affected by this growth? Is the city of Easley still a democracy? Or there are some of the elected officials leaning towards socialism and in it only for themselves, not the people? How y'all vote tonight will show what political party you lean towards. Thank you so much, and God bless America.
Jennifer?
Tala Moore.
I know I spoke at the last meeting, but my name is Tala. I am a sophomore at Easley High School, and I live on Pine Lake Drive. I am here on behalf of the students and the faculty at Easley High School, Easley High School cannot handle any more students. The student population keeps getting larger while the staff and administration does not. At the beginning of this school year, we did get 2 new assistant principals, and at the end of this semester, those 2 assistant principals will be leaving our school. I honestly don't blame them. But with the more students that are coming and not enough adults, Easley High School cannot handle it. The hallways and classrooms are overcrowded, and the amount of kids cannot be controlled. We are concerned with the traffic in this area. Students are walking with no sidewalks to and from school. Students are also driving in this already congested area. Adding these homes also adds the risk of car wrecks and injuries to everyone in this area. Please consider how this annexation is going to affect so many lives. Thank you. I know you guys want to clap. I know you're clapping for me mentally. Thank you, everyone.
Carol Johnson.
Hi, my name is Carol Johnson. I'm a resident of Anderson County. I am affected by this property as I live downstream. I live on watershed number 17. This is watershed number 11. At first, I thought I was directly affected because I actually thought that all of this water was actually going to come into our watershed, which is already about 2 or 3 feet high with silt. Turns out we do have a dike, and so this water does go into Brushy Creek. However, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that this water goes south, and somebody's going to get this water. One thing I wanted to mention is the quality of life. I think somebody else mentioned that. That's awesome. I mean, how important is our quality of life? To me, it's very important. I moved from a really large city a few years ago, and I came here into the county because I wanted to get outside of the city. So now that I'm here, I'm learning of annexations. And if we want county property, we buy county property. We want city property, we buy city property. No big deal. But I really want everybody to understand that the reason we buy county property is so that we can pass beautiful farmlands, beautiful countryside on our way home from work. Sorry. So I do want y'all to try to consider the annexation is not always the answer. People like the farms, people like the countryside for a reason. Excuse me. Now, I'm a little bit torn because I am an architect, so I'm actually torn. I like development, but I also like the preservation. Now, we have wood ducks on our watershed number 17, and they are preserved. I don't know if watershed 11 has any, and I hope that somebody's going to look into that. And we have FEMA, we have NRCS, DNR. Who exactly protects our wetlands, and who exactly protects our watersheds? So the wetlands go into the watershed obviously protects overflow and runoff. So I just want to make sure everybody's considering all these issues when we do make a vote. Now, right across the street from me is Old Mill, and they started developing tons of houses. Didn't know it was happening until it happened. Didn't know the houses were there until they started scraping the ground, and then houses started coming out of the ground. And this watershed 11 is only 2 miles up the street from my watershed 17. I just wanted to voice my opinion, and I really hope that everybody considers the water runoff, what happens to Old Mill Road, what happens to all the following roads. It's all this, water doesn't just go nowhere. I mean, trust me, you can have the best civil engineer out there, it's going to run off, and it's going to go into properties. So please consider all these voices that are here, and do consider voting no to annexation to preserve our quality of life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gail Garrison.
I'm here to protest the building going on Sheriff Mill Road. First, I want to apologize, everyone. Pollen is not my friend. It's really affected me. But the annexation on Sheriff Mill Road is going to be a disaster. I can go out my driveway now, and if school is taken in, I cannot get out in the road. And when school lets out and all that traffic's coming down our road, I can't get in my driveway. It's just horrible. And if y'all want to come and sit with me on my front porch, we'll watch it one day and just let you all see what's going on. But it's really, really pitiful. And y'all know that if Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. And I'm not happy. Please vote no to stop this mess. It's uncalled for. It's just absolutely uncalled for. So thank you.
Corinne Williams.
Thank you, first, for allowing me to speak. And I want to let you know that I am very happy to hear that you are postponing the annexation decision until we have more information about what it will do to Sheriff's Mill Road and Brown Drive area. I am a landowner, and I represent not only my husband and myself, but the people on Sitton Road and Sitton Circle who are in Anderson County, but who will be very impacted by further development. I don't know much about water, wetlands, and runoff, and I really am used to teach school here, but I don't know a lot about the schools at this point. But I did graduate from Easley High School, and I know math a little bit. So I'm going to tell you what I looked at when I heard about this. There are reasons the Planning Commission first voted against it. And I believe that before any more permits are permitted, they are given, they really need to do something about the roads that we currently have. We believe that a traffic study would mandate improvements to Sheriff's Mill, Brown Drive, Ballantyne Drive, St. Paul Road, Brusher Creek Road, and the Pelzer Highway before any further permits could be issued. There are at least 4 developments totaling 419 housing units that are expected to be completed by the end of 2024. The average number of vehicles in South Carolina per household is above 2. That easily puts over 800 more cars on the roads that we currently have from the units that are already permitted. That's 800 more cars every day. Before the city annexes and approves another 90-plus acres with up to 4 houses per acre, we really need to do something about the roads that we currently have. John and I have lived here for our whole lives. We both went to Easley High School. We both have children that went there and graduated, parents and grandparents that went there. We love Easley. We really think Easley has to grow to survive. Without growth, you're dead. But we need to grow in a safe, sustainable way. The devil's in the details. Thank you.
Jennifer?
Maureen DeBose.
Hi, my name is Maureen DuBois. I live at 157 Pine Lake Drive. I've never done anything like this in my life, so bear with me. I moved here 22 years ago. I bought 2.5 acres of land at the end of a dead-end road. At the edge of my property is a creek that runs into Pine Lake, which is across the street from my house. The neighbors that I can see are the deers in the woods, the owls in the trees, and the geese that fly in every night to land in the pond. When the owner of this property being discussed had all the hardwood stripped from it, my husband had to go out and show the cutters the boundaries of my property. They were about to cut down trees on my property. They cut right up to my property line. I do not want 300 homes in my backyard. They will abut my property. Where will all the water go? I fear in my backyard. I hope the dirt and garbage will not wash into the creek and into the pond. I'm asking that you seriously consider the concerns of the people that are speaking here tonight. Please do not make the ecosystem and the roads and the traffic suffer in the name of progress. Thank you.
Daniel Lee.
I've spoken several times before,
And if you guys don't think this is some sort of tipping point, then you don't know what's going on. I mean, you have people up here talking, and most people are scared to death of talking. And you have people who've never talked before coming up here and making their expressions. And I think it's a pretty wonderful thing. I almost didn't want to come up and talk because I agree with the 160-day delay, but I think the same issues will still be at hand. And we really need to have this looked at. And I was thinking about, you know, the last time we had a meeting, the three of you people explained why you didn't, or why you voted the way you did. Brian, you said that you didn't want to vote on another one of these things until the development plan is updated. And I think that's a measured good response. But I think we need to look at that to make sure that it addresses these issues like the Nesbits and the Hills, that we actually have studies that are transparent. We hear about school studies, we hear about traffic studies, but I get online, I can't find them. And they need to be of a certain radius that actually means that they're meaningful. Otherwise, they're useless. Pat, you talked about if we don't do this, then somebody else will. Well, two wrongs don't make a right. You know, that's the truth. Jim, you said you respect people's property rights. I agree with you. But it's not your job to make sure that the landowner gets the maximum profit. There's not a darn thing that anybody can do on this council that keeps this person from selling their property. It's not your job. It's not your responsibility to make sure someone makes the maximum profit. I think that Mr. DiPietro, I congratulate him. He's really trying hard. But, you know, if this comes about before agreements are made, then there's nothing to keep the developer from following just the plan. I mean, I think Mario's making a great effort to try to get more out of the developer, but if you pass this thing before the changes are in place, there's nothing to keep them from doing exactly what they want to do. I really feel for the Nesbits and the Hills. I've driven by. I mean, their place is destroyed. We allowed buildings to go on there, and you're just going to add more to it. So I think you really have to respect people's property and what they do with it. Thank you very much.
Jennifer?
Norma Hill.
Good evening. Good evening. Everybody looking like sad Sallies. I mean, well, I know we all a little touchy in here tonight, but I said good evening. Well, you speak to me. All right, so here we go. Good evening. I am Norma Hill. Most of y'all know me as Lisa. Grew up in Easley, graduated from Easley High School in 1988. Lived in Pickens County all of my life. I reside at 136 Nesbit Lane. Come by, say hello, see the water. See it where it sits. Because it has not changed. All right, tonight I speak on behalf of the Barksdale, Hill families, and our family legacy. All right, my brother and sister-in-law, Craig and LaShinda Barksdale, stood right here and explained what they're experiencing because of poor or shoddy drainage behind their home in the Pleasant Hill subdivision. My husband Leon and I also told you of how the same drainage is affecting our hayfields. First, let me say thank you to the gentleman who came out and walked our property line. Thank you. Thank you for coming to see the damage. I was also told that someone visited us today. Thank you. We weren't home, but you were there. Thank you. All right? But your suggestions that you gave us only take money out of our pocket. Does that make sense? We didn't cause the problem, but we have to pay for it. As a matter of fact, someone sent my husband an email today, an address, and we sent videos. Storm water at City of Easley. Yes, we sent videos of what happened yesterday with all that rain that came down. So please, if you don't have it, let us know. We'll forward it to anybody that needs to see it. And I'm asking the City of Easley, if you can't help us, point us in the right direction. Point us to someone that can. We've been told to talk to the county. We've been told to call DHEC. We've been told to call Neil Collins. We've been told to talk to anybody. And believe me, that's our track. Because it should not be our responsibility to fix a problem that someone else created, okay? I have lived on Nesbit Lane, well, Sheriff Mill Road used to be, but now Nesbit Lane since 1976, y'all. This is home. I'm a country girl, and I'm proud to say I'm a country, because I make country look good, okay? I'm a country girl, but at the rate of development, now I'm not against development. I'm not against growth. As was stated, if we don't grow, we die down. I'm not against it, but it cannot be unrestricted. There's got to be some kind of guidelines that we're going by to make sure that the country stays country. But lastly, I want to say, I got to chime in on annexation. I just have to, y'all. Some friends of mine's children were in a wreck on the bridge Friday. y'all see that? 3 cars, teenage girls, all cars had to be towed on the north end of the bridge. Those children were comforting each other until their parents got there. But just take a minute, think about the what if. That's a bridge with water. What if? What if? What if? Think about those kids that race around Estates Drive trying to beat traffic. Am I right? They cut through, trying to beat traffic. Estates Drive was not built for that. We had a wreck there last year. Teenage girl turned her car over right at the water. What if? What if? It's not a pretty sight, y'all, but just think the what ifs can become real in the blink of an eye. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank y'all. I appreciate everybody coming out and commenting on these items, and if you would like to stay afterwards, somebody will answer some of your questions if you need it. Item 10 is new business, ordinance, first reading. A is ordinance 2023-05 to enter into a intergovernmental agreement with the municipal association. Do I hear a motion?
Motion right to the floor.
Second.
Who's second?
I did.
Thank you.
Mayor and council, I bring this to you tonight. We received a notice from the Municipal Association stating that they're changing some wording in the collection of the taxes that they collect for us. They collect our broker taxes, telecommunication taxes, and insurance taxes. And so a lot of this deals with out-of-state stuff and all. So they're changing wording in their documents, and they've just asked that the ordinance that's in front of you, they're the ones that wrote that, so to get it right, and ask them for first reading tonight and then second reading next month, and we will get that back to the Municipal Association for them to sign off on. Thank you.
Anybody have a question? I'm sorry. Somebody say something. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I called for the question.
Call for the question. All in favor of this ordinance, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Show it unanimous. Do I have a motion for adjourn? Motion to adjourn. Thank you.